If you didn't know, plaster is such a critical component for all of what we build. Stay tuned. We've got an expert here who's going to talk about it. Giddy up. Welcome, everyone, to Your Little Castle Show. Carter Rethwish, a.k.a. Cardinal Cowboy. I got my hat on. We put that on most of the time. We'll leave it on the table here for a minute. But CNC Plastering, no job too small, no job too big. We get to bring in some experts from all different types of professions on this little planet. And I'm one who's personally experienced some of the expertise necessary. I've made a few holes by chance. Baseball, maybe a fist, maybe a little anger, frustration as a kid, but more applicable is we've got an old house in Fayette, Missouri, and it's got plaster walls with the what do you call that with the little ribs in there?
The lath.
Lath, yeah.
Wood lath, the old lath.
Right.
It was original.
And that was where and so this plaster stuff has been around. How long has plaster been used for building?
Since the beginning of time, really. I mean, I tell everybody.
Back into the ancient days.
Yeah, it's been around a long time.
And something that has been used to substantiate our whole, all of our dwellings, everybody. But with that, we'll give a shout out to our sponsors, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things. That might be in your little castle. So, because you like nice things in your little castle. How many of us have a little castle? Most of you have plaster, whether you realize, even if you've got wallboard, there's still plaster in between there holding it together.
80% of the houses in Missouri are still plaster.
80% of the houses in Missouri are still plaster. With that, we're going to put up, you've got a website in tow, you've got a Facebook page, we're going to put that up on for everybody to see. There's wall number 1, wall number 2. We're surrounded by plaster work from our guest here. And Dave, you've been doing this for 30 years.
30 years. I was in the union for a while, worked for all the plasters, and then now I'm on my own. Went on my own out after I had heart surgery. Nobody'd hire me back. They said I was a liability. So
okay.
Now I'm their liability.
Somebody made a decision for them to go off and do your own thing then.
Yep, I did. I called a buddy of mine and said, "You want to own a plastering company?" He said, "Nope." And I said, "You want to lend me the money for it?" He goes, "Yep." And here we are.
Here we are.
Haven't not turning back.
Well, tell me what led to the career. You had a career. You started off in construction.
Actually,
how'd you get into plaster specifically?
Great story. So I was bowling, and I had a bunch of guys at the bowling alley who were going to sponsor me, and I was going to go out on tour and bowl some regional events and bowl all over the country.
You're a heck of a
These
bowler.
guys were going to sponsor me.
Right.
Well, after about 2 years of that, we decided that you can't really raise a kid on bowling, salary, because I mean some months it was great, some months it wasn't. But so then my sponsor owned Aardvark Plastering, and he said, "Hey."
Okay.
I said, "I need a job. I need a real job, not a bowling job. I need,
Right.
So he said, "All right, so I'll put you in the trade." So he put me in the union, and here we are.
Here we are.
And yeah, I worked for pretty much every contractor, and then had heart surgery, and nobody take me back. And then the tornado came through St. Charles, and another guy was playing golf, said, "Hey, you want to, start a plastering company? I got 9 houses for you." So that's why I called my buddy at the bowling alley and said, "Do you want to own a plastering company?" He said, "No."
Well, there you go.
But he gave me the money, and here I am. So yeah.
We've all heard the joke about getting plastered, but we're talking about getting plaster for your house to construct these houses now. How much? You're saying you're so busy right now. It's gotten crazy. Is construction booming again?
It's booming. I mean, and booming. And we're not even to the tornado that just hit the Central West End in the North County. It's insane what's going to happen up there. I mean, we're going to be busy for 5 years. I mean, I need to get an apartment in the Central West End and live there soon, because I mean, the devastation was unbelievable, and all the houses are plaster.
Those are so many.
I would say 90% of them are plaster.
9 out of 10 houses have
and
plaster.
my phone rings and rings and rings and rings every day, which is a good thing. But
Keeps you busy.
We're busy. Yeah, we're
Well, so if you're looking to start a new career and somebody is willing to learn a new trade,
anybody
plastering.
that wants to learn how to plaster, call me. We'll give you a chat. I mean, usually takes about 2 weeks to figure out if you want to do it, and if you want to do it, we'll keep you around. If you don't, we'll say thanks for the 2 weeks of free work.
Right.
That's about all we can do.
I got it. But yeah, I mean, it's a trade, but it's also kind of an art because there's a lot you do to detail that makes the final touching on a wall or building look beautiful. Is that true? Tell me what the
I mean, it's a 4-step process. I mean, we got to prep the walls. We got get them, and then we glue them, and then we put a scratch coat on, and then we put a base coat on, and we flatten the walls. I mean, some people just want the holes fixed. They don't want us to straighten the walls because some of these old houses, they're not square. I don't think they had levels or squares back in 1908, and yeah, it's definitely an art. I mean, we are dinosaurs. There's I would say there's 18 to 20 of us left that know how to do it, and
really?
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody has the gumption, if you will, the will to go off and learn a new trade, but it is literally like, because I've done a little plastering, and you've got to take that. What's it?
It's a trowel.
Trowel,
Hawken trowel.
Trowel, and there's different angles, different widths, and you got to dip into the mud bucket, right, and put it up.
Yep.
And that's just the smooth. That's the basic stuff. But you're talking about artistic stuff and detailed stuff you get in Central West End.
There's cornice work, there's ornamental, and we don't do a whole lot of that. I mean, we have, but I think the guys that can really do it in this town are probably in their 80s. So
really?
There's not a whole lot. I mean, there's a couple plastering companies that can still do it, but it's a dying art. And now apparently they're going to start doing it AI, so then all the plasters have to do is stick it, which will make my life easier because I'm not very good at it, but everything else we can do. I mean, it's just getting, a lot of people are going back to plaster, which is great.
Well, it adds a lot more substantial.
Oh, it's 10 times stronger than drywall.
You've got drywall, and that's right. Drywall, remember, still has that plaster in between to connect everything and smooth over and put your joints and everything. But yeah, if you've got plaster, it's like it's a form of brick.
You're not punching a hole in it.
Is it a form of brick or how is it?
No, it's a form of cement.
Cement.
Really.
Okay, cement.
We use gypsum. I mean, gypsum. It's ground up gypsum, and we use a lot of gypsumite, and then you put an additive of alum, and it gets, like I said, it gets as hard as a rock. I mean, it's.
Yeah. Well, how thick is the normal plaster wall?
About an inch. Right
around. You've got a good solid inch of cement that you put in your wall.
Pretty much, and then we put lime on top of it for the finish, and that gets rock hard once you put gauging and molding in it. It gets hard as marble. I mean,
yeah.
really.
What are the alternatives? I guess out there you've got your typical
drywall is the only thing, and I mean drywall. A lot of people. I mean, and I think it was in the '60s, early '60s. The plasterers. The old-time plasterers said, "Oh, drywall is a fad. We don't want it," so they gave it to the carpenters.
Oh wow! Okay.
Which is so now we're all like, "Yeah, way to go, guys!" But I mean, and when I first started out in 2009, plastering, everybody under the age of 30 hated plaster walls. They couldn't, every wife said, "I can't hang a picture. I can't hang a TV. I can't do nothing." Right. And now with all the internet, you can figure out how to drill a hole and you can hang everything. Well, now all the younger people want to go back to original. So down in the city, we're getting younger people that are like, "Oh, we want it back to original."
Put that plaster back up.
Right, and none of them like the price. The price. I always tell people to sit down. But yeah, the plastering has definitely made a comeback, and now with the tornado and the churches that got hit, and they're all going back to plaster. It's just, it's permanent. When we walk out. I tell people the only time I'm coming back to your house is for a barbecue, not coming back to replaster it. So we do it right. We do it permanent.
Yeah. So what is some of the cost benefit and what's the typical price difference if somebody's doing drywall?
So
I buy those sheets. What are those sheets going for now?
Drywall usually is right around. Anywhere from $3 to $4.50 if they're doing a level 5, and we're $5, $5.50 to $10.
Is that per foot?
That's per square foot.
Oh, okay, so it's not like double the price. It's 10%.
It's but we're giving them 10 times the strength.
Yeah,
if you have kids or rental properties, nobody's knocking holes in it. Somebody's going to hit it or they're going to kick it and they're going to tell everybody, "Don't do that. It hurts." You don't go through it. And it's very expensive to start out, but after that, it's done. You don't have to worry about it. You just, if you want to paint it, you paint it.
And it's true, everybody. The Cardinal Cowboy may have played a little too many baseball games or whatever. Saw somewhere I said, I got to let out some frustration. You could pretty easily punch through a drywall piece.
Unless you hit the stud.
Just be careful, don't hit the stud. That's what you got to watch out for.
But you go right through it.
And you go right through it. But this stuff, that's not easy. I mean, you have to hit it a bunch of times. By the time you've done that, you're going
We hit it with a sledgehammer to take it out. So, I mean, we hit it with a 4-pound hammer. So, if you can hit as hard as a 4-pound hammer, then
knock yourself out.
Yeah, knock yourself out.
Wow, okay. So, this is quite a bit more substantial. And I didn't realize the cost difference was not so much more. I mean,
it can get pretty expensive, if you want, a super smooth wall, white coat, or you want some texture, different colors and stuff like that. It will, it can get expensive. But like I said, once you're done paying that, it's done.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about drywall. I mean, you got to sand it. Once we're finished, there's no sanding. It's it's solid wall.
That's what we like to talk about. Some things we'll talk about those things that last, everybody. And I didn't realize plastering becomes kind of a novelty profession, and there's a lot that goes into that. And so many houses now are going back to that. It's going to add a lot more workforce needed for that.
It's a great I tell. Actually, I have guys that work for me. I tried to talk their kids out of quitting school. Because I'm like, you're not going to be a doctor, so come work for me, and you'll be 4 years ahead of everybody, and
a lot less in debt, yeah.
Because I mean, it's a 4-year process to become. I tell everybody, it's just like high school. First year, you're a grunt. You're going to get dirty. You have to learn how to mix it, set up, do everything, and then the next year each year you get better and better, and then by the 4th year, you're a journeyman and you're equal to me.
Wow. What is the actual going rate then in that space?
Well, we start out. The laborers start out at $20 an hour, and then once they can get, I can let them go in a room by themselves and not have to babysit them. They're at 25, and the laborers usually max out around 30, and then the plasterers max out right about $40 an hour.
Okay, so you're talking $80 grand. You can do the math times 2,000 hours. You can make a nice little $80 grand a year.
Yeah, right now we're working 7 days a week. I mean, we're busy.
Okay, so you're going to get more than your 2,000 hours.
Oh, yeah. Right now, I got guys that, that are going to hate this because we'll get more business and they're just going to work more. But,
Okay. So what is it about this that fuels your passion? Why is it that you get to finish somebody's house to make the final touch?
It's actually, so it's really a really crazy story about that is, so in the old days, you had to live with your journeyman that sponsored you. Mostly it was an uncle or a dad or, or a cousin or some relative, but you had to live with them for a year to become a plasterer. Your first year apprenticeship, you lived with them. So I was adopted and I found my real mom after 52 years.
Wow.
And when I found my mom, I found out that my dad and my uncle and my grandpa were all plasterers.
Wow. Okay.
Which is kind of creepy, it's just kind of weird but it was like, so it was like I was born into it, didn't know I was born into it.
Yeah.
And I've actually done work on a few of the buildings down on Kings Highway that I found out through the grapevine that my dad and my grandpa worked on, and now we redid them. So that's kind of cool that I'm actually working on houses.
Back to the family.
Yeah, so it's really kind of cool, and and it would have been nice to meet my dad and my grandpa and all them. Now they're probably like, get out of this plastering trade, it's crazy, it's too much work. But it's kind of a neat story that and it was just so happened that the guy that sponsored me owned a plastering company and taught me a trade. Now I'm stuck for life. I'm doing.
Well, what do they say? The fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. And with that, we'll talk about. You've got a great looking. I'm going to put this wide camera shot up right now. But there's your BBB, and you are accredited with that A+, a BBB ranking. How does that make you feel to have somebody that's
pretty cool?
There's a lot of work that goes into that, right?
I've had one complaint on Yelp, and the lady actually hired me to do her next house. But you can't get it off. You can't get it off of it if you have a bad. But yeah, we try to make everybody happy. I mean, we do the best thing we can, and I mean, I'm a small company, so you call me, you get me.
Right.
I answer the phone, as much as I can. Sometimes I'll throw my phone, but it's kind of cool that I was excited about getting that A+. That was pretty cool.
Well, lots of years, lots of dedication, 30 years personal experience. And then how big is your team? How many guys you got working with?
I got 5 guys working for me and then 1 laborer.
Okay.
So it's not too bad. And then, like I said, on the weekend, I get some guys to come and help me, that are plasterers here and there, or out of town guys, or. But we get bigger jobs that we need people, and we have guys, there's not a whole lot, so it's like, it's a small group of people that I can call, so. And then we've been fortunate. I know I've made a lot of friends in the trades, and it's been good. I have really no complaints. It's been good.
Well, with that, we'll share with you a lot of fun. We love talking about experts in their trade, but getting into the plaster world, realizing that there's so much of the house getting finished that depends on that. Obviously, we love the guys put on the roof and the siding and all that stuff, but inside, you ever see those guys, man, their work is beautiful, and you see that finished service. You see these pictures of big rooms.
The room. It's to this day. For me, we just finished one today. The labor cleaned it up. And I took a picture, and I said it looks so good and it looks so different. We tell people we are going to destroy your lives for a couple of weeks, but when we're done, you'll be really happy. And that's what we pride ourselves on. That most of I would say all of my customers are pretty happy.
That's
when
great.
we leave. And
with that, we'll share a little bit of the fun we have out in the community. Yours truly, Cardinal Cowboy. I got to interview Babe Ruth's grandson. Here he is on our show. Check this out. Little quick interview we had down at the MAC. My buddy Ed Wheatley, who's connected there, and he's the chairman of the president of the Browns Association. Check this out. Pretty neat.
Hello, everybody. Carter Rethwish, Tom Stevens, Babe Ruth's grandson, came here to the Browns' 41st dinner for the St. Louis Browns Association. Tell me then, if you don't mind, Tom, I'm going to put my clip on you here. What does it mean? What does Babe's legacy for baseball mean to you?
Wow, it's everything to me, really. As I mentioned in my remarks, there's never been a time that Babe was not a part of my life in some form. And now that I'm retired, I benefited so much throughout my life through my relationship with him, the experiences that we've had, that now I kind of want to pay it back and just try and spread the gospel of Babe Ruth wherever I go.
Well, we have it right here. If you want to find out more information, Babe Ruth Central, that's the website that's dedicated to Babe and shares his legacy.
It is.
Awesome. John Goodman portrayed Babe in a great movie that we saw that literally, I like what they talked about in Babe's history, helping kids and his great support for a lot of kids.
Yes.
Is that a big part of his memory for you?
Oh, yes, very much so. Yeah, the humanity, and that's one of the things that I really like to emphasize is the humanitarian side of Babe's activities and what he did. Because that's, you can't really go to a website or read about this stuff,
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for coming to this event. Ed was on our show recently. How you doing, Ed? There he is. We're going to have Ed back on again soon, everybody. Thanks. It's your old Castle Show.
His name is Carter Rethwish, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwish was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me
if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know, I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! Well, there we go. Lots of fun we get to do in the community, and but it was pretty neat talking to Babe Ruth's grandson. You know,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do we know any more legendary baseball player than Babe Ruth, and just to be that close to his offspring or his grand offspring, his lineage.
Right, that's
And,
awesome.
That was pretty neat down there at the Missouri Athletic Club. So tell me, I like to break things down from a numbers perspective. This is where we put the cowboy hat on. We're getting our hands
Getting
dirty
serious.
here, right? But yeah, I mean, why should somebody spend the money to do this properly versus the DIY? You can go to Lowe's and buy a bucket of plaster and start throwing mud on the wall, but what are people really putting at stake there when they do that?
Well, the problem is when they go to Lowe's and all that, they don't do it properly, and then they're going to call me because they don't know how to do it, and then we have to tear it out and redo it. I mean, the reason you want to use plaster, I mean, it's, you know, there's 3 guarantees. It won't burn, nobody will ever steal it.
Right.
You know, and it's hard as a rock. I mean, it's a great product. It's expensive, but I mean, in the long run, and if you own a house for 30 years, you're going to replace 30, 40 sheets of drywall, just for some reason. 30 years of plaster. We've been doing houses that are 100 years old, and it's the first time they've been worked on. Now, granted, if you wait that long and did not fix a crack, it's going to be pretty significant. But plaster is just, I mean, I like it just because I do it all the time, but it's very cost efficient when you look long term. You have to look long term. Short term, if you just want to get in, out, drywall, you know, but the problem is you're not selling a good product then.
Gotcha. You could have something a little more. Tell me that, as a matter of what is the structure using to hold the plaster? How is it held up?
So
The old lath.
with the old wood lath, and if the wood lath is rotted or it's bad, we put up metal lath,
Okay.
which everybody calls it chicken wire, but we put up metal lath,
Okay.
and then we screw that to the studs, and that's what holds it up. And then we put a scratch coat on, then we put a base coat on, and I mean you're at an inch of plaster, so it's pretty solid.
Yeah, so it's substantially supported too until it dries, and then it's essentially that's just like the hanger for it, and it allows it to
Right,
sit
and then
there.
it's
How long
literally
does it typically take to dry?
usually it takes about 24 hours to dry,
Okay.
and then it takes about 3 to 5 days to cure. The old days it was 30 days, but now they got all the chemicals and stuff like that. It's about 3 to 4 days, unless you have a big hole. I mean, if it's inch and a half or a solid inch, it might take a couple of weeks.
Right.
To cure it completely.
Okay. Yeah. Well, tell me that. What really sets you guys apart when it comes down as a matter of the expertise and you told me the guys you got working for you, they're all experienced too. What really
my
makes-
youngest guy is 40, so he's been doing it since he was 18. So he's been doing 22 years.
Yeah.
So and he's our kid. That's what we call a kid.
He's the youngest.
But I mean, my company is, if you call, you call the number, you're going to talk to me. I'm going to be on every job that we do. We'll show up, and I will. If I'm not there all day, I will be there to start the job. I try to pride myself on I'm going to start every job. And then my guys, I mean, I got a great group of guys, and I don't really have to babysit them. And if I'm sitting there babysitting him, we're going to run out of work. You know, so then I go get more work. But yeah, I mean, our company's great because we're a small company, so if anything goes wrong, we guarantee our work. We'll come back, we'll fix it, you know, as fast as we can. I mean, right now we're really busy, but we'll get there and fix it, and usually pretty good.
That's a great point there. I like the fact that small businesses, I love working with directly because you're working with the owner very often, or the
Right.
owner's assistant, or somebody that was directly trained by the owner. So then when you have an issue, you get something that goes wrong, you don't have to go through the first level of support that takes you to the second level of support that takes you to a regional manager, and then they say, don't worry about it, we already got their money, or just push them off and give them the runaround. You get things get dealt with very much more quickly.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah. If you call the number, you will talk to me, or you'll get my voicemail, and then I'll call you back. And I will pride myself that I will call you back the same day. You know.
Very important for us small business guys. We're out there, we're hustling, we're working our backsides off, but there's a lot of dedication and time that goes into that. And so you've got to train the right team. And how long did it take you to develop the team that you have now?
God, I've gone through 20 laborers. I mean, it's been, I would say this team here, 5 years, 6 years.
Really?
And,
Okay.
you know, now I got them whipped into shape. You know, it's taken a lot of yelling and screaming and a lot of gray hair in my head. But the team I got now, we do. I mean, I rarely have complaints, so that's a good thing. And that's the best thing is if we don't have anybody complaining about us, we're in good shape. You know.
Yeah, the complaints are usually because there's something that's gone wrong, obviously.
Right.
But you deal with those. I'm sure not every job has been absolutely perfect, but you're always going to make sure and get it
Oh
right.
yeah, I mean you're dealing with a product that you're adding water to, and you're adding a mixture, and if something goes wrong in all of that, something can happen. Or if the product that was sent to us is old or bad, I mean, but we just come back and fix it, and we know how to fix it, so that's the best part about it.
If you know how to fix it, that's a key to it, absolutely. So specific certifications, you talked about becoming a journeyman. This is a skilled trade. Give me a little bit of the background for what qualifies somebody to be good at this.
So, I mean, we all, most of my guys, we were all in the union at one time. I was in the union, and you go to an apprenticeship, and you go to school, and the best way to learn, I mean, now with me, now that I'm non-union, I train my guys myself, so I know that they're going to be trained right. The school, you go to school for 4 years, and then you learn, after, during the day, you work for somebody, and usually have a journeyman with you at all times, and then they teach you. And some of the journeymen are really good, and the guys that taught me were great. I mean, they're fantastic guys that trained me, and I pride myself on the guys I trained are pretty good, and the guys I have now, I mean, they were good when they got here, and now I've just made them better.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A full half-hour discussion about something that most people kind of overlook. Plastering is not something people go, oh, man, let's go check out plastering today. But when they see that final product, when they see the house the way it's turned out, that's what really makes it stand out. I'm going to have Dave stick around for another half an hour. We're going to get down to some of the nitty-gritty and what goes on behind the scenes and how you make this all function. Stay tuned for that, everybody.